Hello and welcome to Views on News. I'm Jawad Tehami. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif is taking a one-day visit to the United Arab Emirates, and the Foreign Office says, let me quote, the visit reflects the deep-rooted fraternal ties between Pakistan and the United Arab Emirates, which are marked by mutual trust, shared values and close cooperation across multiple sectors. The Prime Minister is going to have some high-level interactions, including the bilateral meeting with the President of the United Arab Emirates and ruler of Abu Dhabi, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The Prime Minister's visit will serve to further strengthen the long-standing brotherly relations between Pakistan and the UAE, deepen economic ties and foster multifaceted collaboration. The visit is a manifestation of Pakistan's and UAE's shared commitment to bolstering their mutually beneficial strategic partnership, enhancing cooperation in existing areas and exploring new avenues for further strengthening the bilateral cordial relations, unquote. We'll also be talking about the recent diplomatic successes Pakistan has had while the Pakistani parliamentary delegation had been interacting in multiple major capitals of the world. We'll also be talking regarding that, the number of very important statements which have come from Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, who is leading that parliamentary delegation to multiple major capitals of the world. To discuss all this, we are honored to be joined in the studio by Mr. Khalid Taimur Akram, international relations expert. Mr. Akram, thank you very much for your time, for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. Mr. Akram, let's specifically talk about this particular one-day visit by Prime Minister to the United Arab Emirates. We have seen in the recent past there have been a number of high-level engagements between the two brotherly countries, which enjoy the fraternal and deep-rooted relationship. There are multiple aspects which need to be highlighted as to the significance of this particular bilateral relationship, but specifically talking when the timing of this particular relationship, when it is coming after Pakistan and India had that very standoff recently, and Pakistan, of course, stood out victorious not only on the battlefield but also on the diplomatic front. We also saw Prime Minister undertaking a four-nation tour to Turkey, Azerbaijan, Iran and Tajikistan, and we see clearly Pakistan's position regarding that particular standoff and towards the very mature response towards Indian aggression has been well received by the international community. So in that particular regard, how significant this particular visit to the United Arab Emirates, which is a friendly Muslim brotherly country?
Yes, thank you very much. I must say one thing, that in last 2 months, Pakistan has shown a very, very mature diplomatic face and a very mature military face to the world. We have seen that how the Indian government and especially their Prime Minister started accusing Pakistan for the terrorist attack in India, and then threatening Pakistan and then attacking Pakistan. The world was just sitting and watching that what is going to be Pakistan's response. And we saw Pakistan not only acted very maturely. Pakistan initially tried to use the good offices of our friendly countries, including Saudi Arabia, UAE, and many others, and tried to bring some sense in India. But then during the escalation, we saw the Indians' aggression, and then we saw a very, very defined response of Pakistan. So after all that, the world has seen that Pakistan is a serious country, Pakistan is a mature country, and Pakistan's foreign policy has now paying Pakistan. We have seen Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif going to the 4 countries, as you have already told. Then we saw Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif just last week visiting Saudi Arabia and personally thanking Prince Salman, and also for the Saudi support during this crisis. And similarly, UAE had been playing a very positive role during this crisis. UAE had tried to bring in sense in India, but unfortunately the Indians were not ready to listen to any of their so-called friends. This visit, I think, is very timely. This visit indicates that how important UAE is for us, how important this bilateral friendship is. And this visit also marks the overall visits of the Prime Minister, which he is personally going and thanking the head of the states for not only standing with Pakistan, They have not stood with Pakistan. I would say they have stood with the truth. They have stood with a nation who is not only their friend, but a nation, a country who acted very maturely. We had fulfilled our promises with our brothers. We had UAE, Saudi Arabia, all these countries, they advised India and Pakistan to act maturely, not to escalate the situation. Pakistan not only listened to their advice, but Pakistan also showed lot of restraint just to honor the advice of our brotherly countries. And all these countries are now looking forward towards Pakistan because they see Pakistan now as the regional power. This 4-day escalation has basically changed the power paradigm in South Asia.
Right.
And Pakistan has not only emerged as victorious, but Pakistan has also emerged as a nuclear state which is responsible, which is which knows its diplomatic compulsions, which and our Prime Minister and Foreign Minister and the Army Chief, Air Chief and all the hierarchy, they have all of them in their personal capacity and in their leadership capacity have shown their leadership skills, and they have proved this thing to the world that Pakistan is a mature country and we will not budge to any kind of victimization or any kind of threats by India.
Right. Mr. Akram, when we talk about Pakistan and the United Arab Emirates, in particular the bilateral relationship, what sort of effect or impact does it have when it comes to ensuring the regional peace and stability?
Yes, that's a very important question. If we see the history of the bilateral relation between Pakistan and United Arab Emirates, ever since the United Arab Emirates got independence back in 1971, we saw Pakistani military training the UAE military. We saw the UAE Air Force was raised by Pakistan's Air Force. Then we saw Emirates airline being made by PIA, and most of the essential departments of the new UAE, which was established on 1st December 1971. We saw the Pakistani government helping them out in various aspects, and they really value that. Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the founder ruler of UAE, he was very fond of Pakistan. He used to call Pakistan as his second home. Now his son is the president, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed. He also acknowledges Pakistan's contribution towards the development of UAE. Pakistan was one of the first country who had sent a lot of skilled labor to UAE, and whatever we saw, the development we saw in Dubai, in Sharjah, in Ras Al Khaimah, everywhere in UAE, that is because of the Pakistani initial labor which had been going over there. So the Pakistan government's stance about UAE has always been that UAE is a brother country. So ever since the UAE got independence, from then till today, we have seen this relationship building up with every passing year. Right now, UAE had been helping us in the counter-terrorism operations. They have been helping us in rebuilding of those areas which were destroyed during the counter-terrorism operations or which were destroyed by the terrorists. There are many hospitals in Pakistan which are made by the sponsorship of the UAE government. There are many schools over here. There are many other institutes which UAE is every year contributing towards the progress of Pakistan. So I don't consider UAE as a separate entity from us, because since 1971 till now, UAE has always been standing with Pakistan, no matter we are in UN or we are in any other multilateral or bilateral platform. The UAE had always been supporting Pakistan and standing with Pakistan. So Pakistan's relationship in the Gulf region, particularly with Saudi Arabia and UAE, is not based on some kind of bilateral agreements or anything else. It is a relationship which started with their independence, and this relationship flourished with time, and their rulers, they consider Pakistan as their second home. They trust Pakistani military. We recently saw the Qatar FIFA. We saw they had requested Pakistani military to come to Qatar and provide security to the stadiums. So we see Bahrain, we see Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, whenever they have to train their pilots, whenever they have to train their military people, the only dependable country for them, not only in the region but in the world, for everything which they need is Pakistan.
You're right. When we talk about ensuring peace and stability in South Asia, given the fact India's aggressive posturing and the manifestation of which has been the recent standoff, you already in your first take also talked about Indians thinking about their so-called friends over there in the Gulf as well. Now, after this particular standoff, when it comes to this particular bilateral relationship, in the light of this particular visit the Prime Minister is undertaking, how the two sides can take steps or measures to ensure that peace and stability when it comes to specifically the South Asian region. Is there any sort of role or influence the UAE could play when it comes to impressing upon India to refrain from going ahead with its aggressive posturing?
Yes. Again, I consider it as an important question because UAE is a major partner of India in terms of skilled manpower. There are a lot of Indian manpower over there. There are a lot of Indian tourists which goes to UAE. There's a lot of Indian UAE investment in India and vice versa, Indian investment in UAE. They are also one of the major trade partners. I am really surprised that during this escalation time, why didn't India listen to UAE? And I'm sure that now the rulers of UAE must be thinking in their minds that what went wrong in their friendship with India, because people were expecting that at least UAE and Saudi Arabia, India would listen to them, because India has lots of stakes with them. India has stakes in terms of their manpower, India has stakes in terms of their investments, they have stakes in terms of their trade, they have stakes in terms of their industry. They are using Jebel Ali port, they are buying oil from these Arab states. But in this standoff, this has shown basically the clear picture of India in front of their friends also, that they did not listen to their friends. So I'm sure that in times to come, those times are not far away when these countries are going to distance themselves from the Indian aggressive and Indian false policies and Indians' false narratives. This time we have seen that India is unable to sell its false narrative to any part of the world, whether it be President Donald Trump, whether it be European Union, whether it be the Middle East. They have been totally failed in selling their false narrative. This is one of the reasons I see Indian media every day. They are cursing that why Prime Minister Modi is not visiting various countries when Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif is moving. It's because the Indian government and Prime Minister Modi was selling a false narrative, and now they have realized that the world knows that narrative was absolutely false.
Right.
Their aggression was absolutely unjustified. So these are the reasons, but I view that the Middle East very soon they are going to review their policy on India, and India will definitely in years and months to come will face the backlash of not listening to their friends.
Right. Mr. Khalid Taimur Akram, a quick view regards, have the difficulties for Indians increased, or do you see the likelihood of difficulties for Indians owing to their authorities' aggression increasing further?
Yes, because you see the pattern of activities which India had been following since last 2 years. You see in Canada they tried to kill some Sikh leadership. In America they tried to kill somebody over there also. They tried to kill some Sikh leadership. Their attitudes towards the minorities, not only Muslims but also the other religions, the Christians, the Sikhs and the other minority religions, they have a standoff with China, they have a standoff with Pakistan, they have a standoff with Sri Lanka, they have a standoff with even a country like Nepal and Bhutan. So right now none of the Indians, India's neighbors is happy with them, and we have seen that how President Donald Trump had been accusing India for having the high tariffs, not talking to US. We have seen in last couple of months, we have seen every stage of the American leadership talking good about Pakistan. They have said that yes, Pakistan leadership is responsible. They have praised Pakistani military. They have praised our counter-terrorism efforts. They have praised our leadership for listening to them, not on some weak grounds, but listening to them as a mature country. We have seen the applause coming from the Central Asian countries.
Want your quicker take regarding as to Pakistan's new budget came in. We have strong trade relationship with the UAE as well. Now, the new tariff policy is being brought in. The tariff lines from 7,000 have been reduced to 4,000. Mines, minerals, and agriculture. A very quick take regarding as to how Pakistan and the UAE can collaborate in these particular specific sectors given the new tariff policy land and also the investment that comes from the UAE.
Yes, UAE is very much interested in the minerals of Pakistan. They have already sent a big delegation during the minerals conference. UAE and Pakistan are already cooperating a lot on agriculture. Pakistani mangoes are going there. Pakistani fruits and vegetables are already going to UAE. And I feel that in days and years to come, with the new geopolitical alignments, UAE will be much more dependent on Pakistan, not in terms of the military and Air Force and Navy, but also in terms of the trade also.
Right. Mr. Khalid Taimur Akram, international relations expert, thank you very much for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. That we come to the end of today's episode. Till the next one, take good care of yourselves.